Hello, today I'm going to be attempting to commentate a game of League of Legends. I'm using the spectator mode, which I really haven't used before. This is basically my first try. I might not be doing anything much of the actual spectating, considering it does move the camera around on its own. But here's the game. As you can see, we're about 4 minutes into it. We got Karthus in mid against an Annie. We got Varus and I guess Nautilus on, no, Akali on bottom, sorry. Nautilus is jungling. And then Lee Sin is solo top. I'm not familiar with an Akali support. Opposing bot lane is Teemo and Lulu, which seems a little bit more standard to me. And then Malphite would be jungling, and Renekton is top. So it appears blue team is already 1 kill up and about 700 gold with it. So they already have the lead. Otherwise, not too much has happened. It looks like Varus and Akali are doing a pretty good job of putting some damage on the Teemo, who only has 1 health pot left and is going to have to go back pretty soon. Varus and Akali both have plenty of health packs, health pots rather, so they'll be in the game for a while. Purple team having some trouble with connection, so Lee Sin should have some pretty easy farm up top. Meanwhile, Karthus is punching down that Annie pretty well, though he's behind in creep score. But Annie is going to have to go back soon, and that'll give Karthus a bit of a lead in CS. Let's see, the junglers, Nautilus is actually a little bit ahead, and they actually just bought an item. Another couple health pots and a ruby crystal. He'll be returning to jungle. Malphite is trying to hold top in place of Renekton. So he's not able to go around and gank very much, but he is doing good damage on Lee Sin, who's going to have to run away and might be taken down. Camera took me to bot lane. It looks like Lee Sin is going to survive, though he is going back in, and just as I was about to click up there, the camera takes me. So that's kind of convenient. Here we go again, Varus getting caught a little too far out, but once again, they have done some good damage to Teemo, who has gone back and bought more health pots, but once again is... No, sorry, I don't think he has... No, he had one back, yeah. He had to have. So Teemo's going to be pushed out again. Nautilus might go for a gank on middle, and Malphite making a mistake tanking the turret, so he's screwed, and there goes the kill. And there's a gank on mid. Looks like Annie is dead for sure. Bot lane is pretty well pushed for blue. Karthus actually getting away with very little health. But Akali and Varus both still have multiple health pots, so they can continue staying in lane for a while. Teemo, once again, taking a good bit of damage there. And Lulu, too, actually. I'm not sure where Teemo's going. No, he's just hiding in the bush. So let's see, we got Malphite and Annie heading back to lane. Karthus is also heading back to lane, went back and used this opportunity to buy some Sorcerer's Boots. So he'll be doing more damage onto Annie, who had to get a couple wards and a ring. Doran's ring. Looks like Malphite took out Lee Sin with the help of the tower. And I expect Karthus to push Annie out of lane again. Annie is going to place down some wards. Malphite is returning to jungle a little bit. Actually, probably coming in for a gank on Karthus, who just got stunned and is taking a lot of damage now. Tibbers went down, and Karthus is dead. And he's going to get away just fine. The Karthus ult goes down, and I stand corrected. Karthus returns and gets that kill. Returns the favor, is what I was going to say. Nautilus versus Malphite. Malphite is 2 levels up. I suspect that would be from holding top lane and getting that kill. Varus actually taking a lot of damage. Is not going to die here. He's going to have to go back, I think. And Lulu is also pretty low and will have to go back soon. Malphite is at the blue buff, so Annie will not take that, actually, turns out. Looks like a gank could come down here. Nautilus is, well, was in the bush. I thought he might sit there for a minute and try to take it. Varus still hasn't gone back. Meanwhile, Malphite is holding bot lane. Varus going to try to put out some damage on the Malphite. Akali going to come in to help. Here we go. Annie once again is taking quite a bit of damage from Karthus. And Teemo's actually gone top against Lee Sin. We've got some harass under the turret. And I just missed some kills on bottom. I apologize. Looks like Varus took out Malphite, and Malphite took out Akali. Nautilus is hanging around, but it's too late to get any kills. Lulu is coming in, and Varus is going to have to go back now. Lee Sin continuing to try to hit Teemo, but I guess Teemo is just using his health pots to stay alive. It looks like they're actually going for a true engage here. Teemo taking a lot of damage, cannot contend with that Lee Sin, who is 2 levels above. Although their health bar is kind of leveled out by now, but I'd still have to give the edge to Lee Sin, if only because of those levels. Down in mid, Nautilus might try to gank Annie, but I doubt it considering that tower is still there. Just going to counter jungle and take Malphite's wolves a little bit. Renekton is still out of the game, so they're playing one man down, which will make it rather difficult for them. Down on bot lane, there we go. It's Lulu and Malphite versus Varus and Akali. And actually there is a gank going on mid. No, there's not. They're just pushing the turret. But Nautilus taking a lot of damage from that Annie. He's going to have to go back. That'll slow him down a bit. Still not too much happening on bot lane, really. Blue's been pushed back to their turret. Let's see. In terms of farm, Varus is pretty far ahead of... well, not pretty far ahead, but he's ahead of Teemo. Let's see. Karthus is ahead of Annie. Of course, Renekton is very far behind. Lee Sin actually has the most farm in the game. He's doing pretty good against his Teemo. Even after taking an Ignite. And with all that poison, Teemo, of course, laying down lots of mushrooms. Down in bot lane, Nautilus is coming in. We'll probably be able to get a kill off of this. And there's the hook. And the snare. The Varus ult actually not doing too much. Malphite actually jumps into turret. We'll probably get a kill on Varus. There it goes. But, yeah, as I suspected, he fell himself. Now it's Nautilus versus Nunu. That Akali is such low health, I don't know what she can do. Nautilus is just going to force Lulu out of lane. Looks like Teemo had to go back, and there goes Lee Sin taking the first tower of the game. Nautilus now going up probably to check Purple's blue buff, but it won't be there. Renekton finally reconnecting, but he's 6 or 7 levels behind everybody else, so he's going to have a rough time. Purple team, of course, may have lost the game just because of that disconnection. I assume he's been having those issues the whole game. Teemo now has returned to lane and is working on Lee Sin, but Lee Sin is putting up a pretty good fight. It looks like Lee Sin is going to have to back off though. Karthus was pushing mid lane pretty hard. That tower has taken a lot of damage. Annie has come back, but with just a few lay wastes, he has taken Annie down to half health. That's painful. Let's see, she is about 20 CS behind, and there goes the second turret of the game in mid. Bot lane, it looks like their turret is being pushed. Almost. Varus against Lulu, especially with Akali behind. They can't do much at the turret, but Lulu is going to need some help down there. She can't hold this tower by herself. There they go in, pushing. Malphite is just roaming again, jungling. Renekton trying to get some farm up top. Lee Sin is currently away. I'm not sure what he's doing. Karthus taking blue for himself. I would think Lee Sin would be helping him with that, or Nautilus. But yeah, Nautilus is going to come up and help with that. At the same time, Annie is getting her blue with the help of Malphite. Teemo has returned to bot lane now. He's laying down some mushrooms. And Malphite is coming in for a gank, which is good because the lane is pushed. Malphite may have just revealed himself there, so Varus and Akali are going to back off. Malphite instead looks like he's going for a gank on Karthus, and Annie is swinging around from the other side of the river. Looks like they're just waiting for the right moment. And here comes Annie in with the stun Tibbers. Malphite coming in, and Karthus cannot get away from that. Nautilus a little too late. He's going to try to do some damage onto the Malphite. Not going to get much of anywhere. He's going to take a lot of damage himself. He will be able to get away, I think. No, never mind, sorry. So that was a bad move on Nautilus's part. Lee Sin is here now. He can probably take down that Annie, but the Malphite would give him trouble. Luckily, Malphite just went back. So here comes in Lee Sin, missing his first skill shot. So he can't do anything to the Annie. Lulu and Teemo are heading up to mid to help deal with Varus and Lee Sin. I wasn't watching, but I assume bot lane purple saw Varus head up and didn't want Annie to get sandwiched and killed by the Lee Sin and Varus. Lee Sin, though, looks like he's going to get sandwiched between... No, sorry. He's going to get the kill on Annie. Malphite, I don't think we'll be able to take down Lee Sin, especially not with Karthus here. I didn't see him. So Malphite, I don't think will be killed, but will be pushed out of lane. Or at least pushed back to the tower. Bot lane has returned to its standard state, with its 4 members just kind of trading farm. Nautilus has come in for a gank. Might be able to get the Teemo, but the Lulu transform, bang, stops him. If he had gotten that hook on Teemo, then the other members of Blue Team could have come in and probably could have gotten that kill, I would think. Now they're just continuing to push that turret. At mid lane, we got Malphite and Renekton nearby the Lee Sin and Karthus. Malphite actually going around, maybe checking blue buff or just taking wolves. I think he's going for blue. But he will find that it is not there. Meanwhile, Nautilus finding that the other blue buff is not there. Big minion wave on top pushing that turret. Doing a fair bit of damage, but Lee Sin is coming in to clear that up. Renekton is still about half the level of everybody else. I'm not leveling up quite as fast as I would have expected. Kills are now even, but Blue Team still remains about 400 gold ahead with 2 tower kills. I would expect a dragon attempt sometime soon. Nautilus has found Renekton and probably won't get the kill. That Annie is far behind though, and now Nautilus is stuck between towers, and so he's going to go down. But he did get the kill on Renekton, so again they just traded kills. Karthus actually ulted to try to help with that. was unnecessary. He wasn't. He's probably trying to secure that kill onto Renekton, but it wasn't needed. Maybe you can't know that except in retrospect, but that was basically a wasted ultimate on Karthus' part, so now he's going to have to wait however long that cooldown is, 144 seconds. So he's going to have to wait a while before he can use that again. Teemo, though, is pretty low, and with no health pots, is going to have some trouble staying in lane. Lulu missing her slow. And Renekton is going to get caught out by Lee Sin, who can probably pick up this kill, especially with Akali there. I didn't see her. Annie coming in, trying to save him, but didn't have a stun up. Otherwise, that probably would have been a death for Akali. So Blue takes the lead and kills. Lee Sin getting rather powerful, has lots of health and armor penetration, and Ninja Tabby boots. He's up 3 kills, so 1 death. Malphite, on the other hand, has 4 kills too, but has died 3 times. It looks like Lulu is deciding to leave bottom lane, letting Varus free farm, but she's going to try to help Annie with this mid turret, with Lee Sin, Karthus, and Akali there. They're actually taking some pretty heavy damage. They might... Never mind, they can't pick up that kill on Lee Sin, he's too fast. But they have at least pushed him out, and here comes the Malphite in on Akali, but hesitating, I guess, and not initiating like he should have. Annie's going to get picked off by Lee Sin here. Lulu is going to have to back off from that, although Teemo is there too, and Malphite coming in from behind. Malphite will probably be able to kill the Karthus here, but won't be able to escape in turn, I don't think. Varus doing some good damage onto Teemo, but also taking a lot of damage himself, and with the Lulu ult, Varus actually falls to Teemo. Nautilus should be able to pick off the Teemo here. It looks like Malphite still hasn't been picked off, but with that Lee Sin chasing him, I don't know how he's going to get away. There goes the kill onto Teemo. Karthus, actually, it looks like he has teleported back, and now is chasing this Malphite, who is slowly being worn down by Lee Sin, but has not yet been able to pick up the kill. Karthus is going to ult to pick up that kill. I'd say again, that was unnecessary. Lee Sin could have gotten that kill on his own, just by using his abilities correctly. But, oh well. So, even with all those kills, Blue Team is only up 1 kill still. And Malphite continuing to have the most kills, as is Lee Sin, for their respective teams. In terms of CS, Blue Team is still pretty far ahead, which helps explain the now 5,000 or so gold difference. Karthus picking up that much needed blue buff. Looks like Renekton is going in mid, trying to push that turret a little bit, but that is a bad idea. He's still several levels below, and now there are Karthus, Nautilus, and Lee Sin here. If they chase, he will certainly go down. Malphite looks like he's going to try to give that blue to Annie. Varus, on the other hand, is taking a lot of damage from these two. They're going to try to turret dive, but Lee Sin is going to pick up the Lulu. And Teemo actually did manage to pick up the Varus, but he's going to fall now to one of these 3, I suspect. Akali might be able to get it, but she went no, she turned around. She'll probably be able to get that. You see Malphite and Annie coming in from the back, trying to help save their team member. It's not quite going to work. Just a little bit too much damage there. And now I think Annie and Malphite are in a really bad position. You got 4 guys from blue there, but Akali has to back off, and Malphite is dead for sure. So blue team taking a big lead. Let's see. Nautilus has that Shirelia's. Karthus has Will of the Ancients and a Catalyst. Varus already has an Infinity Edge, whereas Teemo doesn't have much of anything in particular. He has a couple Dorn's Blades, Phage, actually just built a Wit's End. So that will help, but it's just not quite the same damage as Varus, I don't think. Annie actually picking up a Blasting Wand, that's what it's called. So she's actually probably has more AP than the Karthus. Let's see. 122 versus 140. My mistake. So Karthus still doing quite a bit of damage, but it's not quite Annihilation just yet. Teemo's getting a lot of attack speed now with that Wit's End. That will help a lot with his passive, or, well, the poison from one of his abilities. Still no dragon attempts. Let's see, a lot of activity up on top lane. The Renekton might be able to get away, and he does. Malphite and Nanny came in to try to save him, which they did, and now it looks like they're going to try to get a kill, but with 3 members of blue team here, I don't think it'll work very well. Kali coming in on the Annie, and Malphite has to turn around to protect her. Luckily, both Nautilus and Varus are relatively low, so they can't do too much, but Akali coming in against the Annie again, and she will surely fall. Renekton heading back to lane, and there goes the Karthus ult, which will pick up the Annie. Kali is very low now and forced to back off, and Malphite is going to fall now to Varus. They kind of want to pick up that kill on Renekton, but under that turret there's just not enough they can do, so then instead they're just going to push hard, and they won't quite get a turret out of this yet. Karthus taking that turret, not a good idea. Now Varus, so they're both going to have to back off pretty soon, I think. Karthus, I would say, with his spell vamp, might be able to stay in pretty well, but he doesn't have a blue buff, so he has no mana. Now the turret is going to fall, and Renekton is going to be forced to back off to base, although he does get caught by that anchor, and very well may die from Varus here. And there it goes. So, Kali coming into Teemo on bot lane. That tower has fallen. Finally, something fell for the blue team, but they're still up by 3 turrets. And Teemo is going to get away from this. So he's fine. Kali walking into those mushrooms. Let's see. Varus now picking up his Zeal. I believe he already had a Vampiric Scepter, but I can't be sure. Lee Sin, actually, is kind of scary with that Warmogs and lots of armor penetration. So he can stay in the fight for a long time with his abilities giving him all that lifesteal. He has enough sustain, but he also deals plenty of damage. Almost taking out that Malphite, who's now going to fall to the Varus. The Lulu is actually just going to get out just fine, choosing to, the blue team choosing not to pursue her. Lee Sin actually now getting caught out a little bit, but with a couple members of his team nearby, he'll be fine. So blue team just increasing their lead. Renekton falling, still a few levels behind everyone else. Lee Sin continuing to pick up a lot of kills. Blue team continuing to have a good amount of farm across the board, except for Akali. Teemo and Annie are the only ones who can really contend. Malphite is getting close, but just doesn't quite have enough. Not yet into triple digits. Karthus did end up going for that Rod of Ages, as you might expect from the Catalyst, and now has a needlessly large rod, which he will probably build into a Rabadon's next. So so he's going to be doing a lot of damage pretty soon. Malphite is the only one who's really built magic resist on the purple team, and has a lot of armor with that frozen heart. Nautilus actually getting caught just kind of standing around, and it's going to take a lot of damage from Teemo. Kali comes in to try to help him out. But Annie is there also, but then again, on the other hand, so is Karthus and Varus. Annie will probably fall here, and then if they can catch Teemo, they don't have a lot of CC, but Teemo very well could fall here too. Lulu comes in, can't do too much though. They don't chase Teemo very well. Renekton might actually pick up a kill onto Karthus, but I doubt it. Just too much damage there, and with Varus turning around, they're going to secure that kill. Now Malphite is going to have to back off too, or else get killed from the Lee Sin, who can tank that turret almost no problem. Doesn't have a lot of armor though. Actually, I stand corrected. He did pick up a chain vest, I believe it's called. Yes. Malphite might be able to pick up that... Okay, no, sorry, it's Teemo who picked up that kill. I thought Malphite might jump in. But, you know, Karthus just returning the favor and picking up that kill on Malphite. Doing a good bit of damage on everyone else. Looks like blue team is finally going to shape up and go for Dragon. And Karthus went for Revive. That's kind of interesting. So he's already back in the game. Nautilus now disconnecting, which might give them some trouble. He is their main form of CC. Also building for a lot of health, like the Lee Sin. Annie still hasn't really gotten a lot of items, but looks like she's going for a Rod of Ages for some more health. Renekton has pretty well been feeding. He's died 6 times and has participated in no kills. Malphite also feeding, as is Annie, with 8 kills each. Malphite at least does have 6 kills, both on his team, but it's just not enough against this blue team. They have too much damage. Lee Sin actually going for a... shoot, what do you call it? Atma's Impaler. It'll go well with his Warmogs. He'll have a lot of damage in and quite a bit of armor. Doesn't have a lot of magic resist though, so if this Annie was able to throw all her skills down, and even the Teemo has a fair bit of magic damage, they could both hurt that Lee Sin quite a bit. Teemo is going to walk right into Karthus, and I would think they would both fall there, except it looks like Teemo does get out. No, sorry, I didn't realize Karthus had his ult back yet. So they just kill each other. Right now there are only 2 members of purple team up, though Malphite is about to respawn. But both Lulu and Renekton are really low. Renekton is going to get the top turret though. There are no members of blue team around to stop him. Let's see. Lulu did go back. So now they're just waiting on Teemo to revive and Renekton to get healed. Renekton might be trying to get that blue buff, or just... I don't know what Renekton is doing, but he shouldn't be engaging against that Varus. Let's see the action over here. Actually doing a lot of damage, I guess, with all those minions, and Renekton's ultimate was able to take out that Varus. Now only 1 level behind Varus. Equal levels with Annie, who's now died 9 times, and still hasn't changed her build much. Malphite walking right past, I think that was Lee Sin who went back. Could have been Nautilus, I'm not sure. No, it was Lee Sin, because Nautilus is still out of the game. Blue team, though, still 10,000 gold ahead, along with 11 kills. a team fight up in here. There goes Karthus' Defile, and they are going to be able to take this out. Malphite should fall to the Akali over here. Teemo is going to fall, and Lulu will probably follow with 3 members there. Karthus a little out of position though. Renekton will be able to get away unless he decides to turn around and try to engage this, but no. After standing there for a few moments, he is going to run back to base. This will give blue team, with 4 members there, a chance to push this mid turret pretty hard, and they might be able to get it down with that Varus, who now has a Phantom Dancer. Renekton, it looks like, has been building a lot of health, now trying to get some magic resist, and he's still not buying any new items. She hasn't really gotten much of any farm in a long time. It almost seems like she's AFK. I don't think she disconnected though. Karthus, well, blue team I should say, now pushing the bottom turret. They're going to get that as well, and they did get inhibitor also. At this point, I don't think there's any way for purple team to come back. Karthus is going to get this blue here unless somebody else decides to take it. They do not. So this game is effectively a 4v4 right now, with Annie not doing anything and Nautilus disconnected. However, purple team has that inhibitor down, which means they're going to have to constantly fend off mid lane from being pushed. They are down 5 turrets. It's a huge lead. So even if they got an ace, they would have quite a ways to push. They could go top or bot lane and try to push down 2 turrets and then try to get an inhibitor, but even then they would only be even with blue team in terms of inhibs. But blue team now going for Baron, they have a chance. Purple team is disorganized. Half of them are at base. So this is a free Baron right here. It'll go uncontested. And after that, they should be able to just push to win. And there's not anything purple team can do about it. Blue team is 2 fed. Lee Sin has finished that Atma's Impaler and has also gotten Ghostblade. Karthus has finished that Rabadon's and has picked up a second needlessly large rod. Varus hasn't upgraded his build. Akali, though, has a Scepter, Lifesteal, and Magic Penetration, so she'll be doing quite a bit of damage. Should be pretty bursty, and gives blue team a little bit more crowd control. Malphite is off getting red buff. He has actually started going an AP build. I don't know too much about Malphite, especially in terms of AP. It should be fairly effective though. Teemo, as I suspected, did get that Madrid's Blood Razor, which will help against the Lee Sin quite a bit. And I guess it'll help against pretty much the entire blue team except for Varus. Still, none of them have built any resistance. So that Madrid's should be able to chew through them pretty effectively. Here's the team fight, but purple team is just kind of getting torn apart every time they engage. Lee Sin actually running into the fountain and getting killed. Akali and Varus both taking tower shots, and they're just about dying, but Teemo has actually managed to kill Akali, but now is too low to do anything. And there's the GG. Purple team has surrendered. Karthus ult would have picked off Teemo, but the game ended. Blue team well in the lead. 2 players disconnected. Purple team was behind from the start. Yeah. This is my first commentary. First attempt at a commentary of anything. Hope you enjoyed it.